Welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm talking through how to attract clients using chat, or as we may put it, the DMs. So I really want to get you thinking around, can you really sell £5,000 packages through online? Well, actually the answer is yes. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can do that. So I'm going to share a proven method that is there to attract and convert clients using social media so you can finally grow your business in a way you want to with ease. So I'm going to talk to you around the key distinctions in sales marketing, and I'm going to take you through the method for selling through chat. It's a step-by-step approach, and it will really get you thinking around how to create those conversations that are natural. And that's so important when it comes to sales, is being natural. So we're going to start off with getting you really thinking around how to actually turn likes into leads or how to sell your offers without feeling like you're constantly pushing. Then if that sounds like that's of interest, this episode is just for you. So let's deep dive into selling through great conversations. It's not about here loads of tactics and funnels. This is obviously a funnel in what every business should have, which is attract, convert, and deliver. We are here to make sure that we attract the right people into the business, we're having the right conversations, and ultimately we are giving them all the information they need to make an informed decision about whether the program we've got or the course is the right thing for them. That's the key. And I've spent the last few years building the business and getting really clear on the strategies that actually grow businesses, not just on paper, but in real life and in the client generating ways that are working right now in 2025. And the one thing I've seen time and time again is that the businesses that thrive aren't necessarily loudest, but they are ones that are clear, that cut through the noise, and that deliver. This is so important right now because people want results. They're the ones having the right conversations with the right people. And that's the point I want to emphasize with you today. So by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to use simple, authentic posts to spark real conversation in the DMs, turn those conversations into book calls or hopefully sales without sounding like a robot or that pushy person that's all salesy, and avoid those common mistakes that so many people make when it's about growing your business online. And yes, I'm going to take it step by step so you can take each action straight away yourself. So before we dive in, I just want you to hit subscribe because this means that I get to get this message out there to the world, to more people. I'm on a mission to help as many coaches, consultants, and service-based entrepreneurs grow their business through being really clear of their messaging so they stand out. And that is only going to come from me asking you to do that one thing. So if you could do that, I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into it. This is how to sell through chat, serve through conversation, and grow your business with ease, clarity, and connection. So the step-by-step approach I want to keep clear is really simple, but it's going to feel a bit clunky at first. You've really got to take it into actions. And I'm going to walk you through this so you can imagine what this would look like for you. The first part to remember here is that every conversation you have is about a human being. It is a human to human sales conversation that qualifies you. It isn't about being pushy. It's not about being icky. Like those words, I think, come up from people that are just afraid to sell. And actually, if you're going to have a business, you have to be great at marketing and you have to be great at sales. We are salespeople, whether we like that or not. And the minute I started to really think about that and lean into that, then I realized that actually I could learn certain skills that help me become better at sales, and I didn't fear it in a way that I used to. And actually, I absolutely love sales because I know that when I sell, I can make a difference to someone's life if they come into my mastermind, work one-to-one with me, the membership. I know the difference it can make. So why would I not serve somebody in that way? So step one, get your notepads ready, write these things down. Step one is the opener. It is about a polite conversation starter. So your goal here is to start casual, like you're chatting to someone in the Uber, like you've bumped into someone in a supermarket or you're just in a coffee shop. Like keep it really natural. And to open with a non-threatening dialogue, we have to be willing to get them to respond. So often when people will come into a chat with me is because I have positioned something out. I've given. It's like the law of reciprocity is that when you give to someone else, they feel more likely to give, that they more feel okay to give back to you, like to give to you. It's that working backwards. So I want you to think, which I've explained really badly there, but we want to put something out to the world, to people. We want to do it to the right people and speak to the right people. That's why we want to be building an audience of people who are our ideal client. And we want them to engage with us. So we want them to say, like, I want that. Give me some more. So once somebody's done that, it's easier to then get in a conversation with them. So, for example, one thing I did over the weekend, and you may have seen it in my stories, is I said, if you'd like my sales script, it's normally £9, but over the bank holiday weekend, I'm giving it away for free. All you have to do is send me the word sales and I'll send it to you. So every single person that sent me that word sales, I'm into a conversation with is an instant warmer lead because they're showing interest in what I do. So again, it would be a disservice not to sell to them or to have that, like in long term to have a conversation with them and understand where they're at because they're showing there's a problem there instantly. So I'll send that and I'll say something like, "Hey Jane, thanks so much for this. Here's the sales script. Let me know what else you're working on in regards to sales, marketing, and messaging." So I'm opening that conversation and taking it forward. That's what I want to do is accelerate it onwards with another point or question. So here I could then also ask them and say things like, "Hey, what kind of clients do you work with? Or what brings you to the group, the event? What brings you to my page? How did you find out what I do? What's the main area you're focusing on in your business right now?" So you're not looking for a deep insight here. And lots of people will tell you like you've got to get all fancy and it's got to have, all these great questions. The reality is all we're doing here is starting off a conversation. It's the opener. You're checking that they're friendly, they're responsive, and they're open to a chat. So I'm always sharing with my clients these points around the types of individuals that we're going to work with. And this is really important. And again, I want you to make a note of this because if you're not finding this, it's going to make the conversations really hard. So every single person I have a conversation with in the chat, DMs, I want to make sure they've got a willingness to engage in a dialogue. And I call this like five-star prospects. If they're not happy to engage in a dialogue, they're not an ideal client. If they're friendly and cooperative, like is it flowing or does it feel clunky and hard work? Do they know what they want? Do they know when they want it? And are they open to receiving help? Because fundamentally, we aren't there to make people ready. We're here to find the people who are ready. It's like the phrase you probably heard around you can only take a horse to water. We can't make people do those things. And again, they're the worst type of clients to work with if we do have them. So that step one is the opener there. Step two is a this or that question. It's a low stakes qualifier. I love this one because it gives again a reason for people to come back. So when I've maybe sent that, let's say that sales script to somebody, and I'm saying, let me know what else you're working on, they might say, oh, yeah, I'm just working on something, actually getting clear on my messaging, Natalie. Amazing. Do you coach mostly in one-to-one or in groups? So I want to know, I'm giving like a this or that. Are you running ads or are you doing all of your lead acquisition organically right now? Do you have a program right now for people to buy or are you building one? So this gets them answering you and confirms you're a safe person to engage with. It's just a really low qualifying question just to again build that conversation because it's really unlikely you're going to get somebody where you would ping one of those questions and we see them on DMs. It's awful where they're like, what's your biggest challenge right now? Why would somebody share that with somebody straight away? This is the part where when you take a step back and look at sales and being natural, that doesn't make much sense to me. I wouldn't be sharing those things with somebody within two messages. And I'm always sharing this with clients. I want you to really think around this. When you're doing conversations in DMs, are you trying to take a conversation from like a first kiss all the way to like married, having kids within like a few messages or like a day? Because if so, it's just too intense. And that like people feel that, they sense it. The reality is when it comes to sales, we don't like being sold to. So we absolutely love buying. I love spending money. You probably do too. But we don't want to be sold to. There's a real difference. So again, I just want you to think around with everything I'm sharing here. What are the things that you're maybe doing right now which may be impacting? If you're enjoying this episode and want to simplify your business while making it work for you on your terms, my mastermind could be exactly what you need. It's designed to help you refine your messaging, streamline your strategy, and accelerate growth, all while aligning with your vision. If you're ready to stop overcomplicating things and build a business that truly works for you, DM the word podcast across social platforms to learn more. Now, let's jump back into today's episode. So the step one was the opener. The step two is a this or that question, that really low stakes qualifier, a this or that one. Now we want to get the gap. We want to understand and identify what they have versus what they want. And that's that part, like, do they know what they want? That's the gap. So start qualifying the real need and a potential fit. So here's a couple of examples for you. So, oh, amazing. So where's your income at currently and what's the goal? So how are you finding getting clients right now then? So that person had said about, again, they're looking for messaging and then sales and things. I'd want to know what they're doing right now. So, oh, so what are you doing right now to get sales? Where would you like to be in 3 to 6 months' time if things worked well with you regarding sales? Right, this is the first time you can go a little bit deeper because by now they trust you a little bit more, right? And that's what we're doing. We're building trust here. So the first part, again, the opener, this or that question, and now we're looking for the gap. What is it that they want? So again, if they're not coming back to you, if they're clunky here, or it's just one word answers, like they're potentially not going to be a great client for us. Then we need to think around what do they need? So this is a part, the goal here is to discover what they believe the problem solution is. So if their needs match what you offer, then this is going to help us to again move the conversation forward. So let's just say that I asked a question before and so how are you finding things with getting clients right now? And they said, yeah, look, it's great to be fair, but it's been quite hard the last few months to get those sales. So I might say, so what would you say are your 2 to 3 bottlenecks right now regarding sales? Or what do you think is the biggest thing holding you back in regards to sales? So this is where your are we relevant moment. If they need what you offer, it's a green light. So like if that's what you do and you can support, then that's a brilliant point. Like we're looking for the need here. So again, we've gone from an opener, a this or that. We're looking for the gap, what they want, and then we're looking to what do they really need right now? Because we want to sell them what they want and give them what they need. But we need to know that their problem is something that you can solve. Because otherwise, what's the point in selling anything to them? It'd be wrong because you won't be able to deliver that. So then we're looking for the permission to help. This is a help question. So this is inviting them to accept help. This isn't a pitch. And actually, what I'm sharing with you, like we are quite punchy here. We're really informal. It's really easy to just take it step by step. It doesn't need to be harder than that. So if they say something around like, oh, the one thing holding me back is that I just don't have enough clients coming in who need what I do, and I don't think I'm speaking to them. I feel like I'm speaking to a void, which is often what I hear. And well, this is exactly what I do. Want to chat about how I might be able to help you? Or even better than that, would you be against learning more about how I can help with that? Or would you be against learning more around how you can get more clients in 2025 when everybody says it's a tough market? So we're not like positioning or selling anything here as such. We're just asking if they would like that help. So would you like some help with that? But most people never ask. And this is the problem when it comes to sales, because they're too worried about people saying no. They're too worried then of the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment. When it comes to sales, like we have to get out of our own way and we have to be uncomfortable. So I really want you to think around right now, are you being too comfortable? Are you asking for that sale? Because it's just going to open up the conversation to see, well, what else do you need right now? But if somebody's stuck and they're really wanting help, then they will come back to you generally on this. And I've been in that point where I've been in conversations with people and they've got me really thinking differently beyond what anyone else could do, because no one else sometimes gets where I'm at in business and they do. So again, it's just having that conversation. And then the part here now is to step 6 is the invite. So then so we're not even like doing that cool part there before. We're asking if they like some help. If they say no, cool, amazing. We'll just enjoy my content. Let them go. Or if they case, like, oh yeah, okay, that sounds of interest, let me know. Then you would transition to the next step. So this is when we would need to then look at doing a call. So you're building trust and you're qualifying them step by step. So now this is where you invite. So then you would say something like, amazing, awesome. And this is important to know. And I can't get into the depths of it for the sake of this podcast, but this is the type of work that I explore with clients is language is so powerful with sales. So often you want to say something like, awesome, I've got an overview of how it works, want to check it out. Or I say, cool. If you want, we can jump on a quick call. I can do tomorrow at 5 or I can do Friday at 2, which works for you. This part must feel low pressure. So what I'm doing there as well as I'm saying, look, best thing to do, the next step is, you're this is great for you. We'll jump on a 10-minute call. I can do X or Y. Give them an option again. This date or this date, which works for you. Um, we don't want to be sending them to things like all these tidy cal and Calendly links. Like, unless you've got a sheer volume of people coming in and you can't meet the demand, then you want to just be doing this all and just literally looking them in. I'm not a lover of all the link stuff all the time, and I'm also not a lover of automating so much now. I think that there's a what's working really well with something I'm doing is like almost doing like a voice note to say to somebody, I'm not a bot. Because there's so many bots right now. So again, like this, that could actually help reframe things and get you that person on the call, which is key. So we're looking for the invite. So it's that soft transition to offer the call. So it's that next step. So again, we're building more trust, but it must feel low pressure. So here's a little bit of a bonus here. What I've just spoken through there was step one was the opener, starting a conversation, this or that question. So just qualifying low stakes, what they want help with, what do they think they need, would they like some help with that? Really simple, right? The bonus here is the three A's in every reply. I want you to acknowledge them. So thanks for sharing that. I get it. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Then I want you to add the value, reflect, empathize, like appease them. Like, I get it. I've been there. I get it. It's so hard when your messaging is not clear and you just feel like you're speaking to a void. And then you ask another question to move, so you move the conversation onwards. So we're wanting to accelerate it. So again, like this puts you in control when you're asking questions. So for example, here maybe say, thanks so much for sharing that. I completely get you where you're at. Most of my clients, when they start, they don't have any strategy in place. They just don't know what to do to move forward. I wonder what's your plan for the next 6 months to the end of 2025? Like, move the conversation onwards. That's for us to do. That's our duty in this. And there's some pro tips here as well I want to leave you with. So that's kind of a little bonus there to think around is the three A's in the replies that you give. But I want you to have this little pro tip here, which is that you want to almost chat with people like you're talking to a child. Or another spin is like you're a little bit tipsy. You want it to be really casual, really colloquial, really natural. Short texts, mirror their language, just make it really conversational. Don't go all corporate spiel on them because they just won't get it. Because as much as we're sense checking them, are you friendly? Are you engaged in the conversation? Have you really, like kept it moving forward? Have you gone back in a good amount of time? Like you don't want to be like literally within a couple of seconds replying to their message, like you're sitting waiting for that reply. But you do want to make sure that you go back and you prompt because that talks a lot about how you do what you do as well. And I think that's important when it comes to delivery in business. But this isn't about hard selling. It's about discovering mutual alignment. So sometimes finding those things. So sometimes some of my openers are things like, oh my goodness, I saw you went to the same event, but we didn't get the chance to speak. What was the best part of the day for you? Or hi Jane, we're on the same networking call this week. We weren't in the same breakout rooms though. How long have you been in so and so's networking group or whatever? Like these are people for you to connect with all the time. And there's so many conversations that I've just had just by doing this kind of next step with people. You honestly just don't realize how many people out there right now need what you do because we're not asking. So this works really well because what I'm sharing here is it's the first part, it's just getting into more conversations. And always the law of averages is that if I have 100 people that I speak to, I'm more likely to get, it's impossible over a period of time for me not to get clients. If you're not speaking to anybody, then, you need to ask yourself, like, are you surprised that you're not getting clients right now? But this works because it's safe. It's not pitchy. It's just very natural. It's step by step, which I absolutely love, and it builds like really fast. And you're just going to have to sometimes, as much as we can give these structures, I guess, or actually more scripts, like you have to take I think this is the point actually. You have to take the structure and make it work for you. So things can feel really clunky, but you just have to start doing these things step by step. And it's like learning anything. You just become so much better at it over a period of time. And you'll know which works with you. So sometimes I'll say to somebody, I get it, or gotcha, or sure thing. Now, those don't always make sense on something maybe like LinkedIn. If I'm in conversations over there, I might say a bit more like, I get it, or yeah, I completely understand that, opposed to like, gotcha, versus the types of client I'm speaking with on Instagram may like that language more. So you just have to test, and I've worked out what works for me, and you have to work out what works for you. And that's part of the fun stuff of this. I love this, and I think it's really important that we approach sales loving it and having fun with it. But it qualifies for buying readiness without feeling like it's a massive funnel, which is really important. We just want to see there's somebody that may be interested in what we do. And it's scalable. Like you can handle these amount of conversations in a day just by your phone. So I'm always doing them. Like you can do them as I'm walking to the gym, or if I'm sitting in the hairdressers, or maybe if I just go up in the morning and just getting a coffee, I can just do them back and forth. It becomes so much easier. So to summarize back, and hopefully you've got this down in your notes, I want you to think around always, why should somebody listen to you? That's a key here. But the whole part of this step by step is that we're opening the conversation. They've shown interest in us, and we're just saying, hey, tell me a bit more about you. We're offering a this or that question to find out again and keep the conversation going more about what they need, because want, and then what they need. And then we're looking at, would you like some help with that? Would you be against knowing what this looks like to get you more sales? Would you be against me sharing how I can help you on getting clearer messaging so you cut through the noise and get more clients? So all of this becomes much more natural over a period of time. I'm going to leave you there. I'd love to hear your feedback, what's gone well. If you want more clarity on anything, or you're sitting there thinking, I don't quite get that part, then reach out, send me a message. I tend to say like hit with the word podcast, but look, just reach out. You've got to ask, and then I'll come back to you and see how I can help you. Other than that, I will be seeing you on the next episode.